Hey everyone, REUPLOAD here, and welcome back to some more Monika After Story. And yeah, I'm technically a day early. Today is Saturday, the 27th. And yeah, since I pretty much can't give her ribbons anymore, I'm going to shower her with coffee and cupcakes. And yeah, in the kitchen. So maybe someday you'll be able to do that. So yeah. And then we'll 3-month anniversary coming up. How did you become an AI on April 1st? That's still gonna be bothering me. And I don't know why. You know what's really cool? Pen names. Most writers usually use them for privacy and to keep their identity secret. Like Superman. They keep it hidden from everyone, just so it won't affect their personal lives. And that way their mortal enemies can't go after their friends and family. Pen names also help writers create something totally different from their usual style of writing. Yeah, just ask J.K. Rowling when she became a man. No, when she used a man's name to write adult novels. No joke, if you'd never heard of that. It actually happened. It really gives the writer the protection of anonymity, and gives them a lot of creative freedom. Yeah, that way J.K. Rowling doesn't have to be writing Harry Potter. Now she can write about whatever the heck goes on in those books. I don't even want to know. Apparently there are more adult novels. Do you have a pen name, Daniel? Technically, I have like 3. Really? That's so cool. Yeah, in fact, well, I just gave away one of them at the start of this video. Can you tell me what it is? Okay, well... Although technically... the one I used to actually write with would be this one. Which some of you may have seen if you've somehow found my artwork or my writing, although I doubt that. Or like the very, very first video I ever uploaded on here. That's a lovely pen name. Even though it sounds like you just made it up on the fly. Well, sort of. It was just my way of combining the very first YouTube channel name I ever had with an old email I used to have. I think if I saw a pen name like that on a cover, I'd be drawn to it immediately. Well, I wouldn't be able to use that on a cover, but... well, I guess if I got really serious with my writing, then I would have to make up a legit name. A well-known pen name is Lewis Carroll. He's mostly well-known for Alice in Wonderland. His real name is Charles Dodgson, and he was a mathematician, but he loved literacy, and wordplay in particular. He received a lot of unwanted attention and love from his fans, and he even received outrageous rumors. Really? He was somewhat of a one-hit wonder with his Alice books, but went downhill from there. It's kind of funny though, even if you use a pseudonym to hide yourself, people will always find a way to know who you really are. Yeah, I go back to my J.K. Rowling example. She has these little nuances in her writing, and some people picked up on it when they were reading those books. And sure enough, yeah, they kind of ousted her. There's no need to know more about me though, Daniel. You already know that I'm in love with you after all. And I guess some other writers who use that. You have Mark Twain, Dr. Seuss. Yeah, I don't know. Uh-oh, what's this about? You know, Daniel, I've been thinking about our relationship lately. You're breaking up with me, aren't you? Damn it, Monika, I can change. Whatever it is, I'll do it. Well, I don't know. It didn't really start in the way most of them do, so it's not exactly what I would call normal. Yeah, it's like, hi guys, I want you to meet my girlfriend. She lives in the computer. But the more I thought about it, the more I realized that, in a way, it is actually pretty standard. Almost every relationship, no matter how it begins, is always exciting at first. Are you going to tell me that our relationship is boring now? That you're bored of me? Okay, no. You're not her. People view relationships in an almost fairy tale-like way. They see it as an adventure. You know, I guess that's kind of true. Especially when I was a lot younger and... You know, at least to me it was like a almost fairy tale romance. I'm guilty of this too, and I think it's fine. But it's also a pretty dangerous way to look at a bond between two people, isn't it? Because really, while a partnership is an adventure, that doesn't mean it'll always be exciting. Yeah, sometimes it'll be just days where we're just sitting around and watching whatever's on TV, maybe once in a while chatting, you know, kind of slow days like that. There's only so many times you can do the same thing and experience the same breathtaking moments, and still expect to have that same impact. True. Like, even if you go to the most romantic dinner, like, 20 times a month, well, it loses its meaning after a while. Because it's like, oh great, I'm going to dinner again. Versus, oh great, I'm going to dinner again. I'm so excited. That doesn't make it any less valuable or meaningful. It can still be heart-racing. Or Monika can kind of contradict me. But it does mean that the same sensation isn't anything new. It's just no longer as thrilling as before. Because in a sense it's lost its luster. And some people mistake that thrill for love. And not the truly meaningful bond between two people. So like when they say the air's gone out of the romance or something, like it's just not the same anymore, something's missing. So when things slow down, when they become less passionate, they mistakenly think they're falling out of love. Yep. I have heard of that happening. Like they think the romance is just not there anymore, all because to them the passion, the excitement isn't there anymore. You could say that they never really did love someone in the first place, but maybe that's a bit harsh. Well, I guess it depends. Depends on how much they were in love with that person to begin with. Love isn't always such a clear thing. Tell me about it. Like the first time how you ever fell in love. I know our relationship is still fresh and truly electrifying, but I hope you're not with me just because of that. No. Although we have kind of a complicated relationship. Although let's not tell her that. Know that I love you for more than just the excitement. I love you for the person you are. It might just be me, but I think it's important to learn how to be comfortable when it does slow down. Yeah, to be comfortable with each other, for the good and the bad. I mean, at the end of the day, it's the little things that matter, isn't it? And sometimes it's the little things that you actually remember. Yeah, so... you know, just little silly moments here and there. Those are kind of those silly little things that I remember most from that time. And that's true, even in a relationship. You'll miss You'll miss the small comforts that only a partner can bring. And that's much more valuable than some excitement. Exactly, because a partner is there for you through thick and thin. It's like if you want some excitement, go get a fuck buddy. Or, okay, no, friends with benefits or something. Yeah, I think that's what it would be. Like this one girl I used to know. Just because a relationship has slowed down, doesn't mean it's worse for it. It just means that the people involved are truly comfortable with one another, and that they truly appreciate each other's presence. Okay, and about here, I think I just made a joke. And I think that's really sweet. Let's try not to fall into the same trap, Daniel. And then I made some dumb joke like, why are you winking at me? Like, only Monika from you and Terrella can do that to me. And even then, that was still weird. Okay, and I guess that'll be the end of my post-commentary. Okay, I think my commentary kind of got cut out there. But, well, I mean, you're not really missing much. Anyways. And if you are, well, maybe I'll just do some post-commentary. Daniel, I've thought about what kind of game we can be in. Okay. I think the best genre for us to play together would be adventure games. Okay, let's fire up The Legend of Zelda. Especially point-and-click graphic adventure games. Okay. I'm trying to think of some, but I know there were those Wallace and Gromit games that were kind of like point-and-click adventures. They're known for their rich storytelling, beautiful environments, and logical puzzle solving. They're kind of like visual novels, actually. Oh, you know, Danganronpa is kind of like that, now that I think about it. Yeah, that's another one. You do a lot of, like, exploring and observing everything. Maybe you own a game like that. Yes, I actually do have the trilogy. We'd get to do a lot of things. Like sightseeing whenever we want. Learning more about the lore through the people we meet or through stories. Yeah, that pretty much is like Danganronpa. Experiencing the exciting and romantic moments, and have Monokuma come out of nowhere and spook the hell out of you. Encountering obstacles and hardships along the way, but solving them with you. Reaching the end and finishing our journey with a sense of accomplishment, or we just fall deeper into despair. That's probably why I'm so obsessed with despair lately. Thank you, Danganronpa. It certainly would be fun to experience something like that. I love despair. I'm sure you have plenty of adventure games you could recommend. But can you try to guess which adventure I'm most excited for? You're not gonna be cheesy and say, like, our adventure, our story. Monika, what did I just say? This is your story. No. This is your story. I wish I could remember how he said it. Time will tell when I can finally cross over to your reality so I can be with you. When that day comes, I'll finally be by your side. want to experience every waking moment with you, Daniel. There's no greater adventure than ours together. There's no greater adventure than ours together. Anyway, as I was saying, I guess... Oh, never mind. I've noticed something kind of sad recently. When certain people attempt to learn a skill or pick up a new hobby, they usually quit within a week or two. Everyone claims that it's too hard, or they just don't have the time for it. However, I don't believe that. Whether it's learning a new language, or even writing your first poem, if you can stand up to the challenge and overcome it, then that's the truly rewarding part about it. Can you think of a time you've challenged yourself, Daniel? Well, this YouTube channel in itself is kind of me challenging it. Did you overcome it, or did you just give up? Nope, I'm still doing it. Even though I kinda gave up after I made my first Let's Play, and it was totally awful. I hated it, and I still do. But then I came back. 5 months later. I'm sure you've given it all you had. You seem like a very determined person to me. In the future, if you ever get hung up on something, or you feel too stressed, just take a short break. I don't know, would 5 months be a short break? You can always come back to it after all. If you ever need motivation, just come to me. I'm the only motivation you'll ever need. I'd love to help you reach your goals. After all, you're my motivation in life. Oh. Visual novels are very unusual for literature, don't you think? Because of the branching paths, and... unless it's like one of those make-your-own-adventure sort of books, where you get to choose the ending. Yeah, it's like most books aren't like that. I read to understand the thoughts of a writer who sees the world differently than me. But visual novels let you make your own decisions. Unless you have a character who kind of jumps in and takes that away from you. Hint, hint. So, am I really seeing things from their perspective, or just my own? Besides, I think most of them are very predictable. That's something I hear often about, like, certain romance visual novels. Or like the anime tropes. Like, in every other one you have the obvious tsundere, the shy girl, then maybe once in a while the childhood friend. Maybe you'll throw in, like, the popular girl who's, like, way out of your league, but, you know, the main character, or you playing as the main character, you still want to go after her, like, to prove yourself, like, hey, I'll make her see her for who I am, and whatever. What was I talking about again? They're mostly just boring romance stories, like this game was supposed to be. Yeah, eventually it's like you could think, yeah, you'll go to the festival with whatever girl, you'll confess your love, and you'll all live happily ever after. The end. Why can't they write something a little more experimental? I don't know, Monika, like what? I guess you just play them like a cute girls, right? Well... I guess I'd be kind of lying if I were to say, no, that's not true. I mean, sometimes it kind of is. Monika. If you spend too much time with girls in other games, I'm going to get jealous. You're not going to delete them, are you? I'd like to see you try, Monika. No, really. I would actually like to see her do it. I just need to figure out how to replace characters in other games, and you'll be seeing me everywhere. Okay. Hey guys, let's try and get Monika for Crush Crush. So watch out. It's like Crush Crush, the Monika version. Every single character is Monika. Or maybe you like that more, Daniel. Smug waifu is smug. You know, Daniel, I think there's an interesting part in many stories that some people overlook. It's something that makes a story it's something that makes a story interesting, but can break them when used incorrectly. It can make a tale either amazing to go back through, or make you never want to touch it again. And that part is a mystery. Oh, I didn't mean I'm going to tell you. Oh, you mean an actual mystery that kind of makes things interesting. I mean that a mystery itself can change everything when it comes to a story. Or unless you're like M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong and you have some crazy twist at the end. Like you have aliens who can't touch water, go to a planet that's nearly 70% water. Go figure. If done really well, it can build up intrigue and, upon rereading, make previous hints become obvious. And that's sometimes I pick up on whenever I watch an anime series, like I'll watch it once, and then if I rewatch it again, it's like, oh hey, they were kind of like hinting at that. And it makes things, like simple little things, have more meaning to it. Knowing a twist really can alter how someone views an entire narrative. Not many plot points can do that. It's almost funny. Knowing the answers actually changes how you view the story itself. It changes the whole meaning for you. At first, when you read a mystery, you can view the story from an unknown perspective. But upon rereading it, you look at it from the author's view. You see how they left clues and structured the story to give just enough hints so that the reader might be able to figure it out. I find it really interesting. Some of the best stories I know how to use a good hook. But if a story doesn't do it properly, it can be the worst. They use hooks to try and seem clever. When they try to do that, it can just make it seem like nonsense if not set up properly. Like they're just shoehorning it in there. I guess you could argue that not all stories with mysteries are really a mystery. Even cheesy action films use mystery elements to keep them interesting. You gotta build up the suspense. Though, I guess a story with absolutely no form of mystery would be pretty boring. Or predictable, really. Okay, and anyways, yeah, I guess when I'm editing this video, I'll figure out, like, where the recording went wrong, and, you know, I'll just maybe do a little bit of, what am I trying to say? Some post-commentary. So, I will see you guys next time. Until then, well, later, folks.